Dale went for a Hail Mary. He went inside of the tree and then he ended up inside of the wall and he will never see the light of day again. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, and that's actually the name of this From episode. It is time to review Season 3 of From, Episode 5, The Light of Day, and we have to say goodbye to Dale, who went for the spectacular. He tried to make it home. He went through the magic tree and he ended up in the not-so-magic wall.
Yeah, Dale, he's not quite Patrick Mahomes. It wasn't a Hail Mary that is going to be remembered. Well, it's going to be remembered, but all for all the wrong reasons.
Would you say Dale is worthy of being in the Wall of Fame?
It's definitely a wall. I tell you what, right? That was good. But it's a weird death for me because I feel like they wouldn't have done it to a serious character. Like, it was a serious moment, but it felt almost comical to me that the guy was stuck in the wall. It was actually like, it's a weird death. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, it feels like the kind of death they would only give to, like, someone that was kind of portrayed as a jackass.
Yes, yeah. Like, I think Jade could maybe have got this death as well, but, like, this Boyd ain't getting this death. Like, Tabitha, Jim, they're not getting this death. It was weird. I mean, I thought it was a great death, honestly, but I couldn't help but feel it was comedic.
For me, though, this rules out using the trees ever again.
Well, unless you want to take the risk. You can't even work out the probability, though. Like, what is the risk? Like, if you got a 10% chance that you'll die, there's nothing. I mean, Victor's been using them his whole life, and he's alright. Well, define alright. Define alright.
Yeah, anyway, let's get into it. So, we start the episode with the aftermath of the last episode. Randall gets brought inside the colony house. He's getting patched up. Marielle helps him out, but Randall's pissed that Boyd left him there to die. And, I mean, has Randall got a point? Has he got a case? I think he does, because Boyd did leave him. Boyd chose to, save Tabitha, Jim, and Victor's father. And himself, he chose that over Randall, who was trying to help them as well at the same time. So, yeah, you can understand why Randall's pissed off here at Boyd.
No, you can. Randall could have helped himself as well, though. I mean, he was rolling about on the floor like a fud when he could have got up. I mean, what does Boyd do, though? Does Boyd get them all killed by trying to save Randall, who no one really likes anyway? No, it's a tough one. The keys were being dangled and he took them, man.
Yeah, we then get Randall. He is transported to the clinic for recovery. We also have Christy, who comes back. Marielle's upset, and she kind of just takes everybody away from Christy. She's like, I'll look after her. I'll give her that lesbian touch. So, yeah, Marielle's running around at the clinic, looking after both Christy and Randall. It gets announced that we're getting a town meeting tonight in the diner. Then all of a sudden, we see some Asian woman in the background who's not Kenny's mother. But it's almost like, I don't know.
Taya Chen came back for the dead.
Yeah, I don't know what this was. Taya Cheng, does she have a sister or something in here? I mean, who knows? It's just a bit weird, though, that we lose Taya Cheng, and then all of a sudden there's some other Asian woman approximately the same age and a similar look.
There is
in the diner.
I feel like they've almost doubled the cast. Like, there's just so many people here I do not have seen before.
Does that tell you that there's a big, like, you know the way we've seen, there's been a couple of episodes where we've seen them break into the house? I think we've seen that in season 1 after, your dipshit let the girl in on the rooftop. Do you think that they are setting this up for, a big episode where we get a lot of deaths?
Yeah, I agree. No, it's got to go that way, man.
Only problem is, I would rather see what does 10? Give me 3 deaths with named characters than 10 with a bunch of nobodies.
Well, that is the difference, mate.
If you're just bringing in a bunch of nobodies just to kill them, then that, to me, that is a waste of time.
I really enjoyed this meeting scene, right? But the problem it kept cutting for Julie and Elgin smoking weed and playing dress up. What are we doing?
Yeah, so
who the fuck directed this episode and thought this was a good idea?
We get the town meeting, and honestly, I think this meeting could have been a scene that went on for like 10-15 minutes without cutting to anything else.
Yes, I totally agree. I mean, this could have took up half the episode for
But
me.
we get into the town meeting, and literally like 30 seconds, 45 seconds into it, we're cutting away already.
The Julie and Elgin scenes were awful, man. Added nothing. Like, there was no, like, new reveal or not. It was just it was two teenagers smoking weed. Aye, because that's great.
I thought Julie already had her little rebellious act in season 1.
The only half decent scene I will say was when she went to, like, the room that Fatima, like, showed her, like, early on in season 1. It's like, even from up here, the nightmares can look like dreams.
The flashback?
The flashback when she imagined it. I thought that was alright, but it still felt weird. But
anyway, I think the main talking point is they find a Polaroid camera and we get to see what Ellis's picture looks like, but we didn't get to see what Julie's picture looks like. And I don't know if they will build on that next time. I'm going to assume that there's something wrong with Julie's picture, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, could it be Elgin imagine it, or could it be because she was getting all that weird shit last season?
But again, does that need to be dragged out into the next episode?
Like,
that should be covered then and there.
Elgin clearly looked at it. Did he not?
Nah, I think it was still developing.
Still developing. We'll develop this back at the meeting, right? So, Boyd is pretty much like keeping the cards close to his chest. The police woman officer like steps up to task, and then everyone's like berating her.
Oh, you shouldn't be here. You're a killer. So Boyd kind of defends her. Then Henry speaks a little bit. But then they see Tabitha making her way in, and Henry just gets forgotten about.
Henry gets... But no, I don't get right. See the police, well, it was accidental. Reckless shot. It was horrendous. Dale literally stabbed Ellis. Like, was it last season or season 1? Remember that in the kitchen?
Yep.
He fucking stabbed him for, like, no reason.
Oh, the food!
I think they're blowing this kill of Nikki to gigantic proportions, man.
Especially when Nikki was an absolute nobody, but then again, is it because this policewoman Acosta, she's an outsider maybe, and they're just being harsher on her? Tabitha explains, just basically tells everybody what happened, the tree she went through, the lighthouse, how she was on the outside, she phoned her mother. People then say, well, did you ask for help? Did you go to the police? She says, no, I didn't think they'd believe me. A lot of people then get upset. Some no-names are chiming in here saying you should have done more. We get Jim.
But I don't think Jim and Tabitha did it, especially Tabitha, right? She'd be like, well, you know what, say I do go to the police, and what if they lock me up in an asylum, never to be seen again? Or, accuse me of being a mass murderer and murdering everyone? She had to be smart and play it out. Could she have done more? Absolutely, right? But do these people honestly believe that if she went to the police, she would have been believed here? Oh, you had a chance. And Fatima's near fucking greeting. Just because you're eating rotten vegetables, man, doesn't mean that everyone else has to. I don't get why Tabitha was getting so much hate here, and there was no one on her side apart from Jim.
Yeah, but again, Jim was only defending her for men. Which is kind of just fucking lame.
Jim is pathetic, man.
As soon as a guy said anything, he was like, hey, watch your mouth. But he was happy to allow Fatima and the bus driver to, bash her. And then Tabitha apologises and goes, you know what, maybe I could have done more. And it's almost like, I brought this guy, I brought Henry, and people just gives a shit about Henry. But you know what? If she went to the police and told them, nothing would have came from that. The police wouldn't have believed her. And if anything, she probably maybe would have got accused of killing her family.
What can the police fucking do?
I think that she's actually learnt more by finding Henry and the reveal that Henry's wife, knew about this stuff and was, seeing this stuff before it even went to the town.
I agree.
So I think there's, and I know they could have dived a lot more into that, and I think that's a wasted opportunity. Should have been a few more episodes.
We should have got to that bottle tree, the original.
Yeah, and I think that they have wasted that. But know what bugs me? To be alright, maybe you could argue this is the first full proper episode, right? That they've been here. But why are Tabitha and Henry not continuing the conversations they were having on the outside world? To me, we should be seeing more scenes with them. They've not interacted since.
Yeah, it's like they're strangers.
Even when she walked into the diner, I thought you'd be, Tabitha, nice to see you again.
Aye.
Surely there's more for them to talk about.
No, I totally agree.
And why is everybody just rubbishing off Henry as if, this guy doesn't matter. He's got all of his wife's drawings and stuff, and the stuff that she's seen
is in the real world,
and he's witnessed it. Like, surely at this point, he's the guy that should be really answering stuff, not Tabitha.
Yes.
Yeah, she managed to escape, but he's been looking at this stuff for like 40 fucking years. So, I don't know why they're not making a bigger deal out of Henry. And I don't know why Henry and Tabitha are not trying to rekindle what the, fucking investigation that they were doing outside.
I think Boyd lost control of this situation. You know what? Dale's like, well, why don't we go to the faraway tree? And it's like, I get why Boyd wants to protect all these people, but see, at the end of the day, it's their fucking choice. If they actually want to risk it and try and get back, I get that. And yeah. Boyd can call himself the sheriff, but see, at the end of the day, it's almost better if like half the people die due to rations. As sick as it is, I think that's the best case, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can see that. Boyd says, nah, look, you can't. I went in it once and I ended up doing a well or whatever, and a chimney
or something.
I nearly died, so it is what it is.
It's what, right? And then there was two scenes after this that kind of bothered me. Right, you had the bus driver confronting Boyd and like, I'm sorry I went against you in there. You remind me of my sister. It's like, well, why didn't you fucking defend him then?
Yeah, she says,
just completely retracts everything.
Yeah, then she says, oh, next time something happens, I'll have your back. I guess Boyd's supposed to be delighted.
Yeah, and then the Acosta scene, right, where she comes in and is like, oh, we should get sandbags. We did that when there was a really bad storm. I thought that was ridiculous for her. But Boyd went through her and was like, you killed her, you fucking... I think Boyd needs to reel this talk in.
Yeah, and then he's like, no, I agree when he's like, who do you think you are? Just turning up here and thinking you have the answers. But what was her answers? Basically what she was saying is, people are getting upset. We should give them jobs to do to try and take their mind off it. You don't think they've been doing that? You don't. I mean, they give them jobs to go and find food. I mean, people get jobs in the town. Why? What was? But she brought up some flood that happened in the real world. Oh, and people collected sand. But like, what was? That was dumb. What was she expecting to achieve? What was she getting at? What was her plan?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, give people something to do to take their mind off it. Oh, I'm sure Boyd never thought of that one.
No, I know, but see when you've got Sarah floating about and like this police officer is getting the amount of hate she's getting and Sarah just gets a free pass, to me that's baffling.
Well, Victor doesn't give Sarah a free pass.
No, he doesn't, but...
Victor's run away the entire episode for his father. Sarah's like, you're a good man, maybe your dad's a good man as well. I can't lie and tell you everything's going to be alright, but you should probably see him. Victor then says, you're not good at this. We then get Henry, like father, like son, he befriends Ethan.
It was funny because Ethan's like, he's my best friend, Victor, and Henry looked at him like, what the fuck?
How's my 40-plus-year-old son best friends with you?
That's my life.
And then, I mean, he looked in his room earlier as well, and he just like, it's a strange looking room. And then Victor and Henry come across each other, and they go up and they have a hug and they embrace, and I mean, it is what it is.
I thought this was actually quite sad.
It was.
Because you can clearly see that Victor is a 5-year-old child stuck in a 50-year-old's body. His head's up his arse.
No, it is, and I mean...
I tried to get home.
We'll see more of this, and I think this is a good dynamic, so...
It is a good dynamic, right? But I hope they build on this. I hope Henry doesn't die next episode of Victor.
No.
Like, what I think would make sense is, like, maybe Henry sacrifices himself for Victor, but then I think Henry's getting dangerously close to an age where it's like, is an 80-year-old sacrificing himself really the heroic thing here for his 50-year-old son? I don't know. We'll get to it.
Henry doesn't look that old, though. I mean, he must be. Henry's got to be pushing 70.
Put it this way, right? See if Victor had grey hair and Henry had black hair, I'd think Victor would look older than him.
He looks like Joaquin Phoenix, doesn't he?
Aye.
Anyway, right,
Dale.
But to me, we need more Henry and Tabitha scenes.
Or Boyd questioning them both. But that's the problem with this show, man. I really enjoy it, but it's like, just fucking sit and talk.
I cannot believe Tabitha and Henry haven't reunited to talk about what they were talking about before they...
No.
It almost makes that feel kind of worthless.
And it's almost like he's believed this world too easy. Like he got off the gurney in the back of the fucking hospital, in the back of the ambulance, man. He's clued up to everything.
Who, Henry?
Aye.
I suppose you could argue Tabitha's told him about it.
True, but it's like
he's the only person that's went into this place with warning.
He hasn't even... Yeah, true, but it's like he's not even looked at the monsters. There was no monsters whatsoever in this episode.
It was Dale, isn't it? I mean, how supposed to look at? They don't come at it during the day.
Oh, well, true, I know, I get that, but...
Anyway, we get Jade and Tabitha. Jade finally convinces Tabitha to go and look at the bottle tree. Jim didn't want her to, but Tabitha decides that she is going to, be her own woman, I guess. Jim's like, nah, Ethan ran out when you weren't here. He came looking for you. I'm going to keep him with me. 5 minutes later, Ethan walks out the front door.
How many people have groomed Ethan here?
Ethan walks out the door to apparently go and feed the animals. Jim doesn't know that. For all Jim knows, Ethan's going to run into the forest and try and find his mum.
Yeah, I know.
Dumb. Absolute dumb. Dumbass of the year. Never mind dad of the year. Dumbass of the year. Anyway, we have Tabitha and Jade looking at the bottle tree. Dale's like, look, here it is. This is it. You guys can stick around here and be losers. I'm going to be the guy that escapes. And then I'll go and get help for you guys. And, we'll bring you back. And, what is the plan? Dale can talk about getting help. Where is this place? They don't even know where it is.
Yeah, no, but I see the police. Tabitha goes to the police, right? Maybe with the help of Henry, after, the pictures. But the pictures in the... See, once he turns, my wife did acid and she imagined all that, the police are going to be like, right, all credibility's at the window then.
You two are going to the cell. But
also, Henry pointed out, there's a sign for a motel. Where's the motel? Is that going to lead to something? They seemed to emphasise that, didn't they? Or do you think that was just throwaway fucking talk?
I don't know, it'd be a bit shite if it was throwaway talk, wouldn't it?
So, but where is it though? Obviously the motel must be near the pool. That makes sense.
Is there an invisible building there?
But then it can't be invisible, they'd have walked into it. Weird. Just weird. But then what significance does a motel have?
Is that where the dead live or something?
I guess a motel would suggest that this place has been here relatively, soon, because motels didn't exist, 200 years ago. I guess that's the only thing I can think of.
No, but the way some of these people were dressed, it looks like it was here 200 years ago.
That's the...
Anyway, Dale then decides, look, I'm going to go. I'm jumping in here. I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to rescue the day. He jumps inside the tree. Then we're back in the town. And we see people gasping and oh, what's happened here? Boyd's running through. And then Boyd looks down in the empty pool. And we see something stuck inside the wall. And it turns out it's Dale. Dale has teleported through the magic tree. He went into the magic tree. Now he's somehow got stuck inside the wall. Boyd apologises. He said, I'm so sorry this happened to you. And he pulls out his gun. I guess he was going to maybe just shoot Dale and put him out his misery. But Dale dies anyway. Donna arrives late. Watches on.
Eating the food.
And, why wasn't Boyd frantically trying to, I don't know...
Yeah, everyone else talks a good game. They fucking stood here. Oh, they complained that Tabitha did nothing in the outside world. Your wee pal Dale's fucking getting crushed by a wall and they just stood there.
Wouldn't you try and, pull the wall apart, or...
Yeah, get, a screwdriver, try and, chisel it or something. Anything. I think it would have been too late anyway. But why did they have to wait for Boyd?
Then Boyd kind of goes into a bit of a meltdown, berates the town people for turning against him, saying, this is what happens. I'm trying to keep you safe. I'm trying to keep you alive. And you're all fucking it up. You're all going to die. And that was the end of the episode.
Yeah, honestly, that was a big shock for me, seeing Dale on the wall. I thought he was maybe going to teleport to 200 feet in the sky and then just smash off the floor or something. What did you think was going to happen? That was probably the least thing I expected to happen.
I don't know, I expect him. I thought he was going to die after teleporting, but I didn't predict getting stuck in a wall. That's
unique. I've never seen, but it's unique. We've never seen it because how could it really be done? You'd have to teleport into a wall to get crushed by a wall without it falling. So one of those ones. But overall, I mean, another episode. I remember saying halfway through it, it's going to have to dramatically improve here. I think the episode did. We also did have Ellis catching Fatima eating the rotten vegetables, and he almost didn't.
Well, he didn't really catch her, and then she just gave up the fucking.
It's almost like it didn't really register with him. He's like, well, what the fuck? He was none of that. It was kind of like, all right.
Yeah, she's trying to hide it for so long, but then she just reveals it anyway after him not really seeing it.
Yo, the rotten vegetable thing's the least of the concerns, considering what happened last episode.
Yeah, I mean, that is strange. Then she says there might be something wrong with the baby.
Like, if you're being honest, like, see, eating rotten vegetables, if there's nothing left, I mean, you're going to do that.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was it, really. Anyway, guys, rating the episode time. Honestly, man, I thought it was lackluster. I mean, I'll give it a 5 out of 10, just...
I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I really enjoyed the Victor and Henry hug. I think that was probably the saddest moment of the show.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, and hopefully we get more of that.
I thought the Dale death was really good. I thought the meeting was decent, but it could have been so much better. I mean, I'm not even joking. Like, I mean, there's episodes in this show where nothing happens. I feel like the entire episode could have been a fucking meeting, and we had a game plan established at the end of it going into next week's. But here's what it is. They'd rather watch Elgin and Julie smoke weed. That does nothing for me.
Nothing for me either, guys. 5.5 out of 10. We'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.